Welcome, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. Now, if you're over 40, this conversation today is definitely for you. So listen up. Are you as happy and vibrant and healthy as you'd like to be? Most of us after 40, we aren't. Have you noticed that it's easier to gain weight and harder to lose it? Changes in your activity level, your eating habits, and hormones, and how your body stores fat can all play a role. Now, listen to this. 6 in 10 adults in the US have a chronic disease, and 4 in 10 have 2 over the age of 40. 28% of people over the age of 50 don't even get any extra activity outside of their daily job. This isn't okay. This is an epidemic, and this is something that can change. If you don't have the quality of life that you once had and would like to have, it's because you've been programmed to believe this is just the way it is. After 40, it's just what happens. You get more tired, you get a little more lazy, you gain more fat, and you don't have to be overweight, lethargic, or living a subpar life after 40. Hello, everybody. My name is Alicia McPeak. I am so excited to be here today with my brother, Zach. If you are here on my YouTube channel, and this sounds like a conversation you would like to be a part of, then just stick around and please go below, hit that subscribe bell and notification bell, and stay tuned. Welcome, Zach.
What's up?
I'm so excited about this conversation. I cannot wait to have you guys hear from my brother. Let me just tell you a little bit about him. Zach is an integrative health coach, a neuro-linguistic program master practitioner, a level 2 integrative health practitioner. Zach has done bodybuilding and weightlifting, and he's been in the personal training and nutrition and transformation field for many years and has helped tens of thousands of people transform their lifestyles based on a holistic way of view of our body and our lives and our health. Now, with that being said, Zach, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about you?
Actually, first and foremost, I wanted to kind of piggyback off of the statistics that you had mentioned there, man, because they're kind of mind blowing. And in recent days, the pandemic has exponentially changed those numbers. And those numbers, man, I don't have them in front of me. If I were know you were going to start spitting out the statistics, I would have had them ready. But man, because people are moving significantly less, not just micro less, but significantly less, because a lot of us have had a tendency to be at home. A lot of these numbers have, I don't want to say double, but they have moved up by leaps and bounds. And if you've experienced this, which I want to say it was something ridiculous, like 72% of people are at a higher weight in the United States. 72% are at a higher weight now than when the pandemic started. 72%.
Incredible.
60, oh man, I wish I had the statistics. It's in the 60s. 60% of people have gained 29 pounds or more.
All right. If that's you guys, drop a heart down below that you are one of the 29 pounds. One of the 60% of people who've gained 29 pounds is the COVID 29, huh?
And consider this for a minute. Our avatar, right? You, that's 40 plus, that's 50 plus that are listening to this right now. All that stuff that you did in your 20s and your 30s, it doesn't work anymore. We don't get away with being able to do a lot of those things. And in all honesty, it isn't because our body has aged per se. It's we probably should have been doing these things ideally in the first place, but now you just can't get away with it. And about me, well, it's really hard for me to talk about myself because I absolutely love helping other people, but I also understand that I need to kind of like wow people in order to have you guys understand. Although I know you guys see, like, I've got modeling pictures back here. I've got all these certifications and all this stuff. And a lot of it is because very similar to my lovely sister here and our mother, we've experienced a lot of hardship with autoimmune issues. Personally, I've had, and even Alicia and I had to push off a call just this weekend because my knucklehead decided to eat gluten and dairy and sugar in one day. And I paid the price for it the very next day. Like I'm a real human being that even I have managed to do all of these accolades in spite of a lot of issues. I've experienced autoimmune and gut related depression. And those of you that have really followed Alicia understand that this is genetic in our family. And it's something that if you are in a position where you need to get it under control, you're listening to the right people right now who've been in the trenches. Not only have we experienced the autoimmune depression, autoimmune issues, from gluten sensitivity to dairy issues to then also having to over medicate using antibiotics, which then cascades into even bigger health issues, and us being forced into a position where we're having to learn our health and do it by practice, not just by word, not just by trying to coach other people to do it. And here now at 45 years old, I'm just a wee smidge younger than Alicia, not by much, but just a little. Like I'm actually in the shape of my life because I have gotten it under control, and I can't do the opposite without serious depressive or like health incapacitated issues. So I'm here as a testimonial for an integrative, healthy life because I have to. And a lot of people don't know how good you can feel when you get just little small hinges that open really big doors under control and have the doors to success be open. I know that wasn't really about me, but
he's also a father and a husband and a friend and a brother.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've helped thousands of people lose over 500,000 pounds of body fat. But in all honesty, it isn't the weight that they've lost. It's that they've kept it off permanently. It's that we start with the end goal in mind, that you want to permanently create these habits of health. And that's where I start from. Yes, I bodybuilded, powerlifted. I have 4 children, live in Miami, Florida, recently sold my studio during the pandemic to focus primarily on being able to share this message, and have recently partnered with Alicia in our collaborative group, and she didn't know the name of it, but I'm kind of forcing it on her right now. Our parents named us Alicia and Zach. We are literally the alpha and the omega. That was the whole point behind them mentioning it. And our now collaborative effort is Alpha Omega health coaching.
Whoa, I love it.
You didn't know that, by the way.
I did not know that.
And now she didn't have a choice.
I'm excited. We have so much to tell you. I want to just touch on, Zach, too, the part that you didn't touch on that I think is really important. And this is what I talk to people about a lot, is the depression and the anxiety that comes with that we end up self-medicating, all because of the underlying things that nobody knows to address that creates all this cascade of health issues that we're talking about here today. And it's really about health issues. Honestly, like the gateway in, guys, is you want to lose weight, right? I mean, that's what everybody wants to do. We know it. Who doesn't? But when you get to come and work with us, and it's been this way for 20 something years for both of us, it's our Trojan horse. You come in and you come in because you want to lose weight, but you're going to gain so much more, because you're going to gain quality of life and health, but mental fortitude that you never knew you needed or were missing because of that. And because of the issues that happen that we've discussed, a lot of people, and I just want to address it. I want it to be out there because I want it, like we talk about normalizing things all the time, Zach. I want to normalize the fact that people self-medicate because of these issues. There's alcohol, there's sugar, there's even online shopping. There's all kinds of things that people do because their brain isn't working properly. So
I've done it to myself, guys. I have been.
So have I.
Alicia and I were discussing how love our mom, but it was one of the things that
she's probably watching. Just so
we have, it's just a history of eating, expressing a lot of our anxiety, our stress, our happiness, our good times, like all of it suddenly revolved around food. I mean, come on, we're Texans, so everything is bigger, including our plate sizes and the way that we were expressing our emotions. And it always seemed to revolve around food. But the thing is, when you ingrain those maladaptive coping strategies in a non-healthy way, and Alicia and I both experimented and explored with alcohol too, and it got into a low point for both of us. We both have come out the other side of it empowered, on top of the mountain, and guiding and pulling people up through this. So understand, guys, again, like this is from the front lines of hardship and experience that we are combining together, working with people, using literally the Trojan horse of giving you what you think you want, which is weight loss, but what you really, and giving you, I'm sorry, bringing you in with what you think that you want, which is weight loss, but what you really truly need is a sustainable habit system that makes you feel great and can keep these feelings for the rest of your life, personally, professionally, physically, and psychologically. And yeah.
All right. So real quick, Zach, I want you to share the story that you shared with me on, I think it was Saturday morning, about one of your clients who's 40-ish, has twins, 50, the one
Go ahead.
has young children and is experiencing, I think he has to go through open heart surgery or something like that. Do I have it right?
Yes. And one of he actually had open heart surgery. I mean, to be honest, let's just see if you can, if you're listening to this and you can connect with this. So one of the big priorities that we all have when we get into and have a family is to take care of ourselves first. It becomes our primary thing, but we tend to lose our way. And I've done this myself. If you don't have the capability of being able to provide, protect, and preside over your families, then your family is only going to fall into what your example is. They aren't going to fall into what you try to get them to do. Case in point, what we just said about our mom, right? Love her to death, but there's a bunch of things that she also taught us, and there's no I guess coincidence why Alicia and I both are health professionals at this point. And it's a lot to do with our mom too, who rescued her own self and works with us on a lot of her issues. Back to him. Open heart surgery, two young children. They're not twins, but they're very close in age. And, he has to put the priority of himself first because he's hardly 40 and had this issue, and he needs accountability. And it's the reason why he's coming in and prioritizing putting aside the chips, putting aside all of the things that maybe you guys are currently eating in order to put himself first, in order to then also be able to provide and take care of his family. But it took something that big, something that like mortal, something that really just has that come to Jesus moment of, holy cow, if I die, what happens to my family? And I hope it's a wake up call for you guys not to have to get to that point, because quite frankly, it could be too late, especially with pandemic running around, especially with, if you've got these genetic factors or these high risk factors that you're literally playing Russian roulette with, not just your health, but your life, your children's life, your family's life, like your significant other's life, and especially your own life. And, I hear it, the major problem is this has become the norm coming into us. It isn't like the rule or the exception. About 20 years ago, when we first started all of this, man, seeing the obese person, it was an exception. But now, especially here in the United States, it's become the rule. And it's the reason why we're falling out with just issues and death at a significantly higher rate than ever. And I hope it's at least enough of a wake up call for you guys just to DM us and talk to us about your circumstance. Might not necessarily work with us, but we might be able to give you at least one, two, maybe three small tips that can leverage you into health again.
And we'll make sure we do that today too. So stick around, guys. I want to make sure that you guys get a couple of things that you can take away today that you can start doing. But, Dean Graziosi and I believe Tony Robbins always say that to make change, it always takes inspiration or desperation. And it doesn't have to be either of those. It can be a decision. And that's what we want to help you do, is make a decision to change your health in your life. You don't not wait for something tragic like this gentleman that my brother's talking about. That's scary, but it's common. And speaking of, we'll talk about the big C word, not cancer, the most recent one. Every person that I think the reports are showing, the last I looked, every person that has died has had one or two cofactors. Most of them have had two. And they're all lifestyle cofactors. They're things that are preventable. Just because you have a weak disposition somewhere in your DNA, like my brother and I do, doesn't mean that you have to express those genes. You don't have to. You can take control of that and express your genes and have the quality of life that you want to have.
And what she's talking about is an emerging science called epigenetics. And it's really fortunate that science has caught up to and understood. Just because you have something genetically in your life, it does not mean, or in your family history, I'm sorry, it does not mean that those genetics need to be expressed. In fact, it's like a light switch. And the healthier you are, the more or less those genetics are being expressed, either turned on or turned off. The fact that you have these things in your family history doesn't mean you're doomed anymore. Epigenetics is telling us you can turn off that light switch, or at least have the likelihood of turning off that light switch on the genetic expression with ideal healthy habits that you execute daily. The cool thing is, Alicia and I have put together, in all honesty, we've been toiling on the back burner, or I'm sorry, not on the back burner, but on the hind side of this. And we're just now ready to unleash this amazing stuff to you guys, where all of this stuff that sounds really complicated is actually really freaking easy. Actually, sorry, it's hard. It is hard, but it's only as hard as it needs to be in order to be effective. So it's minimally hard in order to get the results that we keep talking about. And you're absolutely right. I absolutely love the, I think I actually originally had heard it from Tony in one of the Tony seminars. And, it's absolutely true that, like, you usually have to wait until you're either hyper motivated or in such a despair or state of depression, or can't win, or despair and like losing, to get to action. And I genuinely hope, if you're in either one of those points, come on into us. Or if you're even in that deadly middle ground, which is probably the most hardest, because usually people have to get to a certain high or a certain low in order to act. If you're in that middle ground, that gray area where you're just kind of okay, but you're not really okay, take the next step and actually reach out to us, or at least take some tips or take some action from what we're going to say today.
Yeah. So we didn't discuss this, but here's what I want to do. Let's both start with one thing, one thing that we could say, start this today. Like, what would that be? One thing for you? What would you say to everybody?
Easily, it's unprocess your food. If that's the only thing that you did, go and start eating just one meal a day. Let's just start with one meal a day, so it's a lot easier. Completely unprocessed. And what you do is you take that meal and have it be a half your plate of vegetables. If you've got any gut issues or anything, make sure that those vegetables are cooked. half that plate in vegetables where you're getting that micronutrient sufficiency. It's going to boost your metabolism, boost your energy, make you feel good. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like this skin, it's 45 years of age and it's all like, I actually had more wrinkles. You guys can't see it, but I'm actually really gray. I shaved it all off because I hate hair, but like all of these things will make a humongous difference immediately in your mood, in your weight, in your metabolism getting picked up, and in your energy. And then the other like section of your plate, turn it into a protein. That protein, again, it's the building block of muscle. It's going to speed up your metabolism, although on a small level. And the cool thing is, if you're doing this from unprocessed, preferably organic, grass-fed sources, grass-fed, organic, pesticide-free, hormone-free, go through the whole gamut. You're going to wind up making a huge, very, very big impact in a short period of time. In fact, by unprocessing, if you unprocess all of your meals, most people I see that do this just to start with, and I'm going to cheat. I'm going to put a second thing in there and then also drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. You do those two things for an entire week. I've seen upwards of 10 pounds being lost. Now, 6 pounds of it's usually some kind of like colon or junk waste that's coming out of your body. It's not actual body fat that you're losing, but I've seen upwards of 10 pounds lost in a week just off of those two things. All right. I cheated. I took 2. Hopefully you guys go and implement that immediately, because knowledge without action is the definition of stupidity, you guys. Who's this guy calling me stupid? No, I didn't call you stupid. I said, you are participating in stupidity if you've got all this knowledge and you don't take action on it. So go take action on it. Yeah. Now, I want to hear yours.
Let us know. I want you to come right back to this video and tell us that you took action. It's really important that you do that.
What's yours?
So this is so hard for me. I struggle with this, but I want to comment on the whole food prospect, because I interviewed my daughter, Rowan. Look at her transformation. She lost 80 pounds just from beginning to eat whole food. That's what she did. She just ate whole food. And I hear that this over and over and over again. It can be huge. So that piece of advice Zach gave you is worth its weight, worth your weight loss in gold. I'll tell you.
That's my niece, guys. And I watched that transformation, and I've had a 45-pound transformation myself. So like it's, and I've helped thousands of people, but I can say this. Yes, I'm a little biased, but Rowan's transformation was jaw-dropping. Like it's one of those that, like it was so outstanding, and it was so like it was actually, it seemed really quick too. And yes, she had weight from having a baby on her, but at the same time,
no, he was 2.
Yeah, 2 babies back to back.
No, he was 2. He was 2 by then. Like he wasn't.
Oh, he was 2.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. It was Kenna that had 2 basically.
Yeah, she had 2 back to back. Yeah.
Sorry,
but I was just saying, I mean, I don't want that to be an excuse, because women all the time say they've got a 3-year-old, 4-year-old, or 5-year-old, and they're like, oh, I have my baby weight. No, you don't.
No, Rowan knocked it out. She got serious about it. She knocked it out. It happened relatively quick because she was focused, dedicated, and she did exactly that. Sorry, hijack.
That's okay. So that brings me to what I think my tip would be. I'm going to kind of combine it like you did, though. I think it's give yourself grace. First of all, if you've tried this, if you've done this, if you've lost weight and you've gained weight, you've yo-yoed, you've given up. Well, here's a tagline for you. Lose fat, not faith, guys, over 40, because you don't have to lose faith, but you also need to start by giving yourself grace, because the thing that will keep you from moving forward is beating yourself up. So I would start with giving yourself grace. And then the next thing I would do is say, move your body, but don't make it a big deal. Go outside and walk, and put your shoes by the door tonight, get up tomorrow and go out and walk one way for 10 minutes and walk back for 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to like do anything crazy. I come from this perspective because one of the things that we've got going on is toxins, and I want you to be able to help move the toxins out of your body. We don't exercise for weight loss. It's the least effective way to lose weight. It is going to be more about what you're putting in your mouth than.
Say that again. Hey, hang on, guys. Pause for dramatic effect. Okay.
We do not use exercise for weight loss.
It exercise. Okay, listen. Alicia and I started 150 years ago.
Just
as
about.
I think combined we figured out it's
like 50 years
something
together.
stupid, like 55, 56 years combined that we have, or even more of fitness experience in this industry. But we both started on the go and do something side of things. We did. She in aerobics and me in weightlifting and personal training. She taught aerobics classes to start, correct?
I did, actually, they weren't even called aerobics back then. It was so long ago that they weren't even called aerobics yet. Nautilus Gym, 17 years old.
And I started off basically as one of the most god-awful personal trainers, taking people through body part splits, like housewives through body part splits that I would get from Muscle and Fitness and oh my God. Okay.
Okay. So, wait. I got one better for you.
Piggybacking. Guys, so what Alicia said literally was, this is where we started, right? We start off in the fitness industry. We start off where doing something, but when it really comes down to it, it is a microcosm. It is the equivalent of a hair on an elephant's butt. When it comes down to losing weight, your exercise, there's a million reasons you should be doing it. And it should very much be a part of your daily activity. You should, but the reasons why we do it aren't what you think.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to tell my really bad fitness trainer story. I started as an instructor in, I don't even know what they called it, but it wasn't aerobics. And the guy had me come in, he put an ad in the paper. He has me come in. I'm a dancer. He says, show me what you can do. I don't even know what I showed him. I would wear these women out doing like high kicks and high knees, just killing these women with it was nuts. Like this was when the industry was very unregulated.
Talking about Alicia came from an incredibly high level of dance. So she was in there running people through.
I was killing them.
Professional dance choreography type of
I had no idea what I was doing.
Classes.
But back to the movement thing.
By the way, the times I took your classes, and I was a big muscly guy at the time. I was that guy at the time. Alicia would run me into the ground. I couldn't hang. But anyway.
But moving toxins, creating endorphins, but there's also other positive brain effects that happen when you walk and you're looking into the distance. Like there's so much to it that has nothing to do with weight loss. But I think doing those two things, giving yourself grace and just moving your body every day, would go so far in the positive effects and feelings that you have about yourself moving forward. So those are mine.
So, and just building off of what she said, and I thank you so much for sharing those. It's amazing to hear. Like it's hard to narrow this down because in all honesty, the four that we just came up with, like how you said one, and we managed to come up with four, are so essential and so key. And, you know, they're four pillars that actually our program is based off of. It literally is movement, mindset, nutrition, and wait, what am I missing? Alicia, what'd you say? Mindset, nutrition, movement, mental, and accountability. And accountability. Sorry, our
I didn't say anything about accountability.
So there we go. Now you got five.
Now you got five.
Right. But what she said, literally piggybacking off of what she said, Sophia Bush has a quote, and it's okay to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. And giving yourself grace and space while also being incredibly damn proud of doing something. Guys, it's how you just get started and being happy with waking up 5 minutes early, going and doing. It doesn't even matter. 2.5 minutes one way, 2.5 minutes
That's
back.
right.
Or push-ups and squats.
Yeah. What it does for your mindset is
bicycle crunch is
huge.
5 minutes, first thing in the morning. That's it. Just something.
100% agree.
But then being damn proud of yourself for getting started, but also understanding you need to keep going. You need to keep doing it. and
Good.
chain them together as a habit. Start stupid simple so it's so easy to do, and it's so easy you can't not do it. Sorry for the dogs. They're agreeing with me and Alicia right now. But also just getting really excited. Go tell everybody. Stupid, like grin on your face like a little kid, giddy and excited. You know what? I'm doing this. And then go do it again. And be excited. Share it with us.
Yeah, definitely
I
share
don't
with
care
us.
how small it is. Share it with us.
Yeah.
And give yourself the permission to be both a work in progress, a masterpiece and a work in progress all at the same time.
Yeah, I want to say something about accountability, and then we're going to wrap this up, kind of telling you guys where we're going with this real quick. I don't want to keep this everybody too long. Accountability. So I worked in our gym. I worked there all day long, and I would have somebody come and meet me at the end of my training sessions with my clients to work out with me, because all I wanted to do was go home. I'd been in the gym all day, and I created accountability for myself. We do so much better when we have accountability. And I've noticed over the years with working people, working one-on-one creates a lot of accountability. Working in groups of people create a lot of accountability. And these are things that we're going to be offering you guys, that accountability to us, accountability to each other. What's that?
With a weekly check-in with a coach.
Yeah.
Weekly check-in with your group. And also us doing it right alongside you.
That's right.
So we're in the middle of doing this together too. We're not just telling you what to do, that whistle and stopwatch trainer with a clipboard over on the side coaching, but we are actually going to be doing it right along with you.
Yeah. I was never that trainer. I worked out with my clients any way I could, anytime I could. I remember one day doing 300 lunges, 300 in one day. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Zach, let's start giving everybody a little peek and preview of where we're going with this.
Midlife Metabolic Mastery, guys. It's a 6-week program that we are launching. And our tagline literally is lose fat, not faith after 40. And it includes those 4 pillars, the nutrition and a little bit of supplementation. We'll get into that pretty in depth. The exercise and movement. There's a distinction between those two, teasing that one out there. I just mentioned them all, Alicia. I'm having brain fart here.
Accountability, nutrition, mindset, movement,
and
I thought you got them all.
Either way it goes, guys.
We don't know what we're talking about. Just come join us.
We actually do. We have the program all together, and it's based off of those 4 pillars: the accountability, the movement, the mindset, and the nutrition and supplementation. Now, like what we offer, guys, we are actually putting together a case study program for this. Now, I've got thousands of testimonials. Alicia's got the same thing. But this program in particular, we're taking on case studies and people that are at least minimally invested in wanting to make a change, or in that deep, dark pit, and just you've had it. It's time to do something and act. Just reach out to us.
Yeah.
Immediately reach out to us, because this program is ridiculous. And you've got 50 some odd years and over 1 million pounds of body fat lost between our clients and tens of thousands of people that we've helped. But at the same time, you are our next transformation. You listening to this right now, that's you. Alicia and I, you get a tag team partnership of us going like hiding nothing, holding nothing back, giving you everything that we are as a combined team. But especially for you, 40 to 50 plus, maybe it's the pre or during menopause stuff. Alicia's right there too. Me, that declining testosterone, or you've completely trashed your health trying to be the provider for your family. And here you are, you need to figure out how to balance it all out and make it all work. Well, we've got it for you guys.
There you go. Okay. And we're going to be around with lots of tips over the next few days and few weeks. Plus we've got a special little challenge coming up for you guys that we're not going to talk to you about just a second. So there's a lot going on that you guys are going to have amazing fun with. It's going to be great. We're here to serve you. We're here to help you, and we are excited to do it. So with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I am just so grateful for this and so excited about this. And I want to remind you that if you're here right now, please go to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys will get that notification bell, because you will get the moment that anything comes out, you'll get it there. Plus, if you haven't followed my brother Zach, go follow him right now. Go follow him, and we'll have more coming. So just stay tuned. Keep a close look and watch what we're doing.
Facebook.com, Zach Marcy, ZACHMARCY. Instagram, Zach Marcy. Search it up. Yep.
There we go. We got it. Awesome, Zach. Thank you so much, brother. Love you.
Love you too.
Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell.